This episode is brought to you by my boy Steven. Got me the WorldBreakers. And let's go ahead and play this solo WorldBreakers. Why not? Alright, how do we do this? Starting decks. Okay, let's just read the solo campaign. In addition to its two-player game mode, WorldBreakers includes a single-player experience in the form of a 10-chapter campaign. The campaign is divided into two 5-chapter parts and managed through the campaign deck. Each chapter is a single game played against an automaton. You follow the regular rules of the game, while the automaton is controlled by a deck of order cards. And setting up the campaign. Each part of the solo campaign has its own setup. To begin a solo campaign for either part 1 or 2, gather the campaign deck, don't shuffle it. It's set up in a particular order. If you're playing part 2, not doing that yet, take the 12 order cards that are on top of the campaign deck to form the starting orders deck. Round start. Haven't cracked the chits. Oversized character guys. And just put these to the side for now. Let's play with the one that we opened, I guess. Or maybe there's a set deck. But, yeah. Crack this campaign deck stuff. Oh, don't do that. Get my tape while it's still good. Just to keep everything nice and organized. That's the stuff. Alright, stop. This deck is to use in the solo campaign. Don't shuffle it. This is the end of the campaign deck. Flip this deck over to begin at the other side. This deck is used when you're ready to begin a campaign. Set this card aside and follow the campaign setup instructions on page 31. Okay, solo play. The automaton ignores all effects that draw cards, gain mythium, or gain standing, and can't trigger migrate abilities. The automaton resolves all abilities available to it within these restrictions, including damaging a non-hidden location when it successfully attacks. Whenever the automaton must choose a card, then it follows these guidelines in order. Ready cards before exhausted cards. Highest standing recruitment, highest mythium cost, location, fewest remaining stages, follower, less remaining health, if still tied, your choice. No rules cards revealed during the campaign may alter the above rules. Okay. I just put this right here. Alright, setting up the campaign. Each part of the solo campaign has its own setup. To begin a solo campaign, blah, blah, blah. Take the 12 order cards that are on the top of the campaign deck to start the orders deck. Would have been nice if they were numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, chapter 1. Is this a 12? I don't know. Alright, looks like these 12. Maybe this is just the start. Chapter 0, maybe. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. Just make sure to not shuffle. Take the 12 order cards that are on top of the campaign to form the starting orders deck. Okay, maybe that's the starting order decks. If you're playing chapter 2, I'm not doing that. Create the starting play decks for yourself and the automaton by gathering the cards listed on page 35. The chapter 1 for part 1 and chapter 6 for part 2 cards should now be on top of the campaign deck. Proceed to the first game. Alright, so page 35. Make the starting decks. Starting decks, part 1. Player. Marco Polo, robed in silk. Oh man. Alright, let me count of 4. Yeah, better than to use the pool tab. Alright, Marco Polo, Silkworm Terrarium, Marco Polo, Silkworm Terrarium, Polos, Exploitative, Proof of the Grotto, Inspirational, Straight, Pacify, Moth. Oh, that's not Moth. Straight, Pacify, Heedless, Moth, Sly, Generous, and Illicit. Where's the Illicit? Don't see Illicit. Oh, Illicit Bazaar, Mesmerizing Maze, Surprising Development, Caravan Guard, Lowly Bard, Star's Apprentice, The Humble, The Submerged, and The Den. Alright, so not every card in there. Put these right back with the Marco Polo stuff. A little piece of tape there too. Alright, that's that stuff. And for the automaton, Dog Tamer, this guy's cards, Kudaloon, Kudaloon, Dog Tamer, Gallant, Kalari, Aireg, Eagle, Skillful, Amu, Weary, Vet, Lowly Bard, Earth Apprentice, and Swift. There's a draft deck too, used after completing chapter 1. So stop. The next page includes the starting decks for part 2. Don't want to use that. Draft deck used after completing chapter 1. Okay, so we got the starting decks now. Page 31. The chapter 1 for part 1 or chapter 6 should show you, should now be on top of the campaign deck. Proceed to the first game. Setting up a campaign game. Playing in solo mode. Setting up the campaign. Setting up a campaign game. To set up a game in campaign, shuffle your deck and prepare your starting hand. Standing and Mythium as normal. Then follow these steps. Separate any cards added to your opponent's play deck during the previous game. Shuffle that deck, but don't draw any cards. If your opponent has a WorldBreaker card, put it into play. Gather any new rules campaign cards that have been revealed from the campaign deck. There are no new rules for Chapter 1. Resolve all setup abilities on new rules cards you gathered. Shuffle the 12 card orders deck and put it into the play area, making sure that the turns 1 and 3 side are each face up. 12 orders cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Turns 1 and 3 side. Turns 1 and 3 side are face up. You're now ready to begin playing. Okay. Now ready to begin playing the draft deck. Playing in solo mode while taking your own actions and resolving your own abilities. You follow the normal rules of WorldBreakers, except that for the duration of part 1, chapters 1 through 5, you can't attack. Okay, you can attack. This restriction does not apply to part 2. Your opponent is an automaton. It has no hand, no Mythium, and can't gain or spend Mythium, gain or spend standing, or draw cards, either in the rally phase or with abilities on its cards. All other abilities work normally. The automaton always triggers any ability it is able to use. If your opponent's play deck ever runs out of cards, shuffle their discard pile to form a new deck. Order cards. On each of your opponent's turns, instead of the automaton taking an action, you must resolve the ability on the top of the order's deck. Okay. Order cards have 2 sides, 1 and 3. And flip it to 2 and 4 by instructing you to discard the card. Discard this card. Whenever the last card of the orders deck is discarded, reshuffle the discarded orders cards to form a new orders deck, making sure once again turns 1 and 3 side of each card is face up. Most turns 1 and 3 abilities put the top card of your opponent's play deck into play. Most turn 2 and 4 abilities cause your opponent to attack. Cards that break this pattern are illustrated with a quotation deal. Choosing targets. Whenever the automaton must choose a card in play, it uses the following criteria to make its choice. At each step, if more than one card is tied, it proceeds to the next step to choose from among the tied cards. I think this is just going over that. Yeah. Ready cards before exhausted cards. Choose a card with the highest standing requirement. Choose a card with the highest Mythium cost. Choose a location with the fewest remaining stages or a follower with the least remaining health. If there are multiple, then you decide which one the automaton chooses. And then ending the game. The chapter card indicates the amount of power required to win the current game. As usual, check for the victory in the rally phase. The chapter card indicates the amount of power required to win the game. Okay, so we'll read that in a second. As usual, check for the victory in the rally phase. If you lose, you can reset and play this chapter again under the same conditions. If you win, flip the chapter card and follow the instructions to continue the story. The back of the chapter card will guide you through the next cards in the campaign deck. Resolve them one at a time as follows. Order card, add the card to the order deck. Remove a basic order card, one with no illustration or dot on either side from the deck. New rules card. Follow the instructions and set the card aside for future games. Chapter card stop. You're ready to continue to the next game. Alright. Now we got a bone up on how to play WorldBreakers in the first place. Okay, so starting the game. Okay, object of the game is power. Power represents your control of Mythium through conquest, political favors, intrigue, trade, or any other means. You gain power counters by developing location cards and attacking your opponent. Each player aims to be the first to reach 10 power. And let me get my highlighters. And highlighters on deck. First to 10 power wins the game. Alright, start the game with WorldBreakers. Go through the following steps. Each player puts their WorldBreaker into play. Each player gathers their starting resources, 5 Mythium and 1 standing. This is my starting deck. Five Mythium. Oh, they're double-sided. 5 Mythium, 1 standing. Which one is the standing? Oh, standing is the tracker cards, 2 for each guild. I think they're in another stack. Right there. So Marco Polo has this white standing, light standing. Okay, 5, 1 standing from the guild indicated on the WorldBreaker card. I guess you'll have your WorldBreaker on top of the... Oh, okay, they're on the back of those cards too. Oh, no. Okay, right there. I picked out an extra one. So I'll put that back. All right, 1 standing looks like. That's how I'm thinking it goes. Five Mythium, 1 standing from the guild indicated on the WorldBreaker card. The purpose of these resources is explained on phase 15 through 16. Each player shuffles their deck and draws a hand of 5 cards. You can look through your hand right away. Randomly select the first player. Set the turn tracker between the players oriented so that the first place is on that player's side. Orders deck. Yeah, right there. Won't be using these oversized right now. Show you the actions you can take. Starting with the first player. Each player may take a single mulligan. To take a mulligan, set aside, then draw the same number of cards. Set aside any number, and then draw the same number of cards from your deck so that your hand is finally reshuffled. You're now ready to begin your first round of play. Action phase, 1 action chosen from the following options. Rally phase, rally abilities. Each player readies their exhausted cards. Each player gains 2 Mythium. Each player draws 1 card. Check for victory. If somebody has 10 power, change play order. Flip the token thing. Alright, seems simple enough. combat, defense phase, keywords. Okay. Setting up a campaign game, playing in solo. Whenever the last card in the orders deck is discarded. Okay, choosing targets, ending the game. You're now ready to begin playing. Shuffle the 12 card orders deck and put it into the play area. Make sure that the 1 and 3 side. Gather any new rules. Resolve all setup abilities. Shuffle the 12 card orders deck. Put it into the play area, making sure that the 1 and 3 sides is facing up. You're now ready to begin playing. You're the first player in the first round. You are the first player in the first round. Playing in solo mode when you're taking your actions and resolving your own abilities. Follow all the rules of normal world breakers, except that for the duration of part 1 and 3, you can't attack. Oh, dang it. Alright, chapter 1. Alright, you can attack for chapters 1 through 5. Your opponent is an automaton. It has no hand, no mythium, and can't gain or spend mythium, gain or spend standing or draw cards either in the rally phase or with abilities on its cards. All other abilities work normally. The automaton always triggers any abilities it's able to use. Automaton always triggers any ability it's able to use. Can't gain, spend mythium, gain or spend standing or draw cards either in the rally phase or with abilities on its cards. All of the abilities work normally. Okay. If your opponent's play deck ever runs out of cards, shuffle and order cards on each of your opponent's turns. Instead of the automaton taking an action, you must resolve the ability on the top of the orders deck. Instead of taking an action, resolve the ability on the top of the orders deck. Orders cards have 2 sides, 1 and 3. Whenever the last card of the orders deck is discarded, reshuffle the discarded to make a new orders deck, making sure once again 1 and 3 are at the top, face up. Most turns, 1 and 3 abilities put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Most turns, choosing targets, ending the game. Whenever the automaton must choose a card in play, it uses the following criteria to make a choice. At each step, if more than 1 card is tied, it proceeds to the next step. Okay, ending the game, the chapter by the amount of power. As usual, check for victory in the rally phase. If you lose, you can reset. Alright, to set up the game, shuffle your deck and prepare your starting hand. Standing and mythium is normal. Then follow these steps. Starting hand, standing, mythium is normal. Separate any cards added to your opponent's play deck from the previous game. Shuffle the deck, but don't draw any cards. Separate any cards added to your opponent's play deck from the previous game. Shuffle that deck. Don't draw any cards. But don't draw any cards. If your opponent has a WorldBreaker card, put it into play. Gather any new rules campaign cards that have if your opponent has a WorldBreaker, put that into play. Gather any new rules campaign cards that have been revealed from the campaign deck. Place them near the play area. They remain active for the entire game. There are no new rules for Chapter 1. Resolve all setup abilities on new rules. Shuffle the 12 card order deck. Alright, you're now ready to play. Alright. Okay, that's a +1/+1 counters right there. Stationary counters. Sounds like a stun. Wounds right there. Power counters are these ones. Stage counters. for the stages, which are like sagas and MTG. Alright, think we're ready to actually go. Alright, so we can read chapter 1 now. About 20-30 minutes in. Alright, you were the famed trader Marco Polo, chapter 1. You have lived in the great Yuan state for 17 years. Recently, you heard of the great Mongol princess Kudlun, who is reuniting the hordes and plans to march on Europe. You must leave for Venice and warn your people. However, first you should secure a certain item from Kublai Khan's coffers. Win the chapter to sneak past the treasury's guards, the sisters known as Tingri's cavalry, and obtain the Khan's glass cylinder. And the objective is 6 power. Flip this card if you win the game. Alright, not too shabby. Alright, so I forgot if I'm supposed to shuffle their deck or not. I think so. Yeah. Shuffle that deck. Shuffle your deck and shuffle their deck. Shuffle your deck. I like that beat. Shuffle that deck. Yeah. Per your starting hand, 5. Alright, shuffle my deck. Orders deal. Chapter right there. Orders, put the orders there. A nice card back. Alrighty. Alright. I'm the first player. Where's my action tracker at? Turn marker. Right there. Okay, I'm the first player. So my actions are, I can gain 1 Mythium. I can draw 1 card. I can pay 2 Mythium to gain 1 standing with any guild. I can play a card. I can develop a location. Or I can attack. And then again, develop a location. First you gotta play the location card. Then to develop it, I think you just have to spend Mythium and maybe standing to do so. Okay, players develop their locations in order to trigger stage abilities. When a player develops a location, they remove the topmost stage counter from it and resolve the ability of that stage. Okay, so you'll put stage counters on there. Locations can be damaged. Alright, they go in the back row. Cool. It says, remove the topmost stage counter from it and resolve its ability. Okay, remove the topmost. Alright, cool. And then my Marco Polo, he does response after you play a location, exhaust, and then reveal the top card of your deck And if it's a follower card, draw it, but otherwise put it on the bottom of your deck. After you play a location, exhaust, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a follower card, draw it, otherwise put it on the bottom of your deck. Alright, that's what Marco Polo does. Alright, draw my 5-card hand. One more shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My deck will be right here. Alright, I got the first action. 3 drop, 3 drop, 2 drop, 1 drop. I can do a mulligan if I want to, but these seem cool though. I have 5 to start with. So, play a card, paying 1 less for each standing you have across all guilds. Location, mine, gain 2 and 1 power. Gain 2 and 1 standing with any guild. All I need is my guild right now, which is, I guess this star right here. Slide Sentinel. Okay, so I just want to get to 6 power before, to win, the first one to get to 6 power, I think. The chapter card indicates the amount of power required to, as usual, check for victory in the relic phase. If you lose, if they get to 6 power first, then they win. Okay, so I'm just trying to get to 6 power. And then how do you gain the power again? You gain the power by killing guys, I think. Attack phase. I'm sure you gain the power by killing a guy. Okay, begin a combat. Combat has several steps involving both players, and it's explained in the next section. To begin combat, you must have at least 1 follower that's declared as an attacker. How do you get the power? 2 earth standing, 2 earth and 1 moon standing. You just put the card under there, okay. Resources, power. WorldBreakers. Opponent's power, boo. Power. If you have at least 7 power and your opponent doesn't, if both players have power. I'm fairly certain you get the power by killing guys or knocking off locations. Whoa. Block, fight, defeated. Okay, gain 1 power for each breaching follower. The outcome phase determines the results of the combat. At the beginning of the outcomes phase, each follower that is still attacking breaches the defending player's forces. At the beginning of the outcome phase, each follower that is still attacking breaches the defending player's forces. Note that followers stop attacking when they are blocked. Follower that's still attacking breaches. Followers stop attacking when they're blocked or if they leave play. If at least one follower breaches, the attack is successful and the attacking player follows these steps. Gain 1 power for each breaching. You may resolve breach abilities on those followers. You may damage a location controlled by the defending player. This removes 1 of its stage counters. Without resolving the stage ability. If the attack is not successful, there are no official... Okay. Alright, so that's that. That answers that. You get power by breaching. Don't know why I didn't... Well, I mean, it's there, but breach. Alright, so anybody that's not blocked and is still attacking, they breach, and you get 1 power for each breaching follower. Alright, so my first action, I can do one of these things. A few keywords, we'll go over those later. But I can gain 1 mythium. I can draw 1 card. I can pay 2 mythium to gain 1 standing with any guild. I can play a card. I can develop a location. Or I can attack. So, what I'll do is probably play this location. Okay, follower warrior blocks remove from combat an attacking follower other than the follower slot signal is blocking. That's when he blocks. Pacify, put a stationary counter on a follower. Stationary, I'm sure, is stunned. And then surprising development. Before you pay this card's cost, damage a location you control. But I don't have any yet, so I'll just play this location for 2. So I'll pay my 2 mythium. I'll just pay this 2 mythium. Play this location. It goes on my back row. And then I'll put these counters on there. Stage counters. 1, 2. And then whenever I develop the location, I can take the top one off and get that first ability from it. Alright, so that was my action. The automaton's action. They recruit. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Top card of their deck into play. Yeah, it's a little better. Alright, so they play this. And then I'll flip this card to be showing turns 4 and 5. Alright, so they play this guy. And then that guy comes in ready, I'm sure. Not tapped. And then, yeah, so that's a 1 drop. And then when it attacks, it gains 1 mythium. Alright, so their turn is over. My turn. I will develop a location. Let's make sure I'm doing the develop right. Actions: gain 1, draw 1 card, buy standing, play a card, and attack, and develop a location. Develop a location you control. To develop a location, remove its topmost stage counter and resolve the stage ability that corresponds with that counter. Then if the location has no stage counters left, then discard it from play. So I'll develop. I'll gain 2 mythium and 1 power. Gain that 2 back and 1 power. Oh yeah, that's how you get it. You gain the power right there. Alright, so I'm 1/6 of the way from winning this chapter 1. Put my power right there. Alright, so now villain turn. This one says charge. Your opponent attacks with all of its ready followers. Then when they attack, they gain Mythium, but they can't gain Mythium since they're just a stupid automaton, which might still be me. But your opponent, it has no hand, no Mythium. Yeah, so sucks for you, Kalari Adept. You're not so adept at it. I mean, after all. Alright, so you swing for 1/1. And then, let's see, they can either hit my location or they can hit me directly. And then we'll just see what it says. Okay. Ready cards before exhausted cards. Whenever the automaton must choose a card, it follows these guidelines in order. Ready cards before exhausted cards. Highest standing requirement. Okay. Highest Mythium cost, which is 2, which I, as the player, have no Mythium cost. So they'll probably try to hit my location. Choose a card with the highest Mythium cost. Choose a location with fewer remaining stages or a follower with the least remaining health. If there are still multiple valid choices, then you decide. It's definitely going to hit my location. So what happens when it hits my location? Combat. When a player takes the attacking action, that becomes the attacker, the defender. Attack phase. In this phase, attacking player declares which followers they're attacking with and resolves it. To declare an attack, one or more ready followers with stationary ability can't be chosen to attack. Stationary can't attack. Stationary is defender. Stationary. Defender in MTG. After you declare an attack, you may resolve its attack. Defense phase. Outcome phase. At the beginning of the outcome phase, each follower that's still attacking breaches the defending player's forces. Note that the followers stop attacking when they're blocked. Gain 1 power for each breaching. You may resolve a breach ability. You may damage a location controlled by the defending player. This removes one of its stage counters. Followers that are still attacking during the outcome phase. Okay, so they're still attacking. Gain 1 power for each breaching follower. They're breaching, I think they get 1. And then they also, you may damage a location controlled by the defending player. This removes one of its stage counters without resolving the ability. Okay, so they'll get that. That was gain 2 Mythium and 1 standing with any guild, which I'd rather have the power, I guess, anyway. Alright, so this will get discarded for me. And then let's go ahead and read that defense phase. In this phase, the defending player, well, I mean, you know, I guess I had nothing to block it with, so yeah, we'll read that later. Alright, that's their turn. My turn again. The rally phase is when they're ready, right? Ready's in the rally phase. Each player readies. They should have made something like a little quick reference for the attack phase too. But all right, so they attacked, then outcome phase, they did that. Then we go to the action phase and rally phase. Action phase, rally phase, action phase, rally phase. Okay, action phase, they attacked and everything. Then rally phase, they ready at the end of the turn. Action phase, rally phase. Alright, so now my turn. Action phase, I can choose an action. Go ahead and play a unit now that they've attacked me. So very much like Netrunner, you know, you don't just have an inherent draw. Unless you're the corp, I guess. But, being that there's no corp, I'll go ahead and play this Sly Slidinal to block this guy. So I'll pay 3. I've got the 1 standing, so I can play this guy. Oh, after I play a location, exhaust, reveal the top card of my deck. If it's a follower card, draw it. Yep, I'm going to retroactively do that. If it's a follower, draw it. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of my deck. So, would it did that. And it's not a follower, so I bottom deck it anyway. Alright, so, yeah, now you're untapped. You rally, then action phase. Alright, so I'll play this guy out. It's my side. I'll put this as the division between mine and the other guy's stuff. Use yellow. I never use yellow. Alright, so playing this guy out. There is no summoning sickness, is there? See, like, I like a whole rule book, but I still like, give me everything in a small form too. But, I mean, they got this on the back. Let's see. Resolve 1 block at a time for each, exhausting the blocker, outcome phase, declare an there is no summoning sickness because you just attack. Because you got to play the guy, then the next time it comes around, then you attack. Yeah, that makes sense. It gets rid of that summoning sickness stuff. Alright, so I'm playing this guy, that's all I can do. 3, pay 3 for that guy. That guy's played. Now, opponent's turn. They've already charged, so I discard this card after that. My bad. Alright, so now they're back on recruit. Play the top card of the opponent's deck into play. They play 2-drop Air Rag Maker. And then enters, gain 1 standing, but they don't have standing. They don't keep up with the standing. Alright, that's their turn. And then I'll flip this card. Now it's my go. Alright, so this one, stationary, blocks, remove from combat, and attacking follower other than the follower Sly Sentinel is blocking. Alright, so I could attack or I could do something else. If I attack, I'll have wounds on me. But when I block, I get an extra benefit. So instead of attacking, I'll just do something else and then block and then remove one of those guys. So, alright, put a stationary counter on a follower. Followers with stationary can attack. I'll probably do that in a second. Play a card paying 1 less for it for each standing you have across all guilds. Got 2 standing, so pay 1 less Mythium for each standing you have across all guilds. So I have 2 standing. So I pay 2 less for a card. So Event: before you pay this card's cost, damage a location you control. Surprise development costs 3 less, gain 5. Okay. I might just draw a card. I can make it so this guy can't attack, and I can just keep on. Yeah, I think I'll do that. All right, so I'll pay 1. Play a card, paying 1 less for each standing you have across all guilds. Or do I want to just buff that up? So I can pay 1 for that, and then I pay 1 more to play this, and then I saved 1. Then all that's going to do is put a stationary on that guy. That guy can't attack. And then I just take 1 damage from that guy, and this guy is still good. And then I can remove that guy. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, like, and then when they attack, they're going to attack. First game's always the worst game. Ready cards before exhausted cards. Highest standing requirement, highest mythium cost, fewest remaining stages. They would both attack into that guy. But then I block, remove from combat, and attacking. Because the blocker gets to go first on the attack, right? Combat, attack phase, they attack. Then I do my defense phase. And then the outcome phase. Trying to see if I should spend my money right now. Because they're going to attack. Both of them going to attack into me. I'll block. I get to choose who I'm blocking. I'm blocking this guy, then I'll remove this guy. So there's really no point in me playing cards right now. So what I'll do is I would just draw a card. Yeah, I'll draw a card. Alright, got another location. That's what I wanted to. Alright, so that's my turn. Now, villain turn. They will charge. Your opponent attacks with all of its ready followers. They swing, and then we'll go over that stuff now. Alright, combat. When a player takes the attack action, that player becomes the attacking player and combat begins. Combat is 3 phases: attack phase, defense phase, and outcome phase. In this phase, the attacking player declares which followers are attacking and resolves any related abilities, but the automaton attacks with everything. To declare an attack, choose 1 or more ready followers you control, move them forward within the play area, and tap them. The followers are now attacking. Followers with the stationary ability can't be chosen to attack. Defender and NPG. After you declare an attack, you may resolve attacks or your attack abilities that have a colon after them. Your attack ability on cards you control applies to any attack you make, and attacks follow applies if the follower, only if that follower is attacking. Once the attack is declared, any of the resulting abilities are resolved. Continue to the defense phase. In this phase, the defending player sends their forces to contest the attack. While battles in WorldBreakers are chaotic events with many engagements happening simultaneously, the game examines the fate of each attacking follower 1 by 1. Alright. To resolve the defense phase, the defending player chooses whether to send a ready follower they control to block one of the attacking followers. They can perform any number of blocks, resolving them 1 at a time. One at a time. And they don't have to commit any future blocks until completing the current one. To resolve a block, follow these steps. Exhaust the blocking follower and clearly indicate which attacking follower is being blocked. If the following blocker blocks ability, the two fight each other. Place a wound, counters, strength, and defeated is placed in the discard pile. If the attacking follower is still in play, if the attacking follower is still in play, it is removed from combat and no longer counts as attacking. No longer counts as attacking. Have the attacking follower move it back to the roll. Alright, and then outcome phase. Guys that are still attacking breach and gain 1 power for each breaching follower. You may resolve the breach. You may damage the location controlled by the defending player. Alright, yeah, cool. Man, page 14, yeah. Making sure players develop. Yeah, so it's a double whammy to get your location hit and to lose a power and to get a power. All right, so they're attacking with both of these guys. I block. I'll choose to block this guy. They'll take 1 damage. No. They take 2 damage, knocking them out. I'll take 1 damage. This one gets discarded. And then on block, remove from combat an attacking follower other than the follower / sentinel is blocking. So I'll remove from combat this guy by putting him back. And then, yep, and then they didn't breach anything because that's removed from combat. That's removed from combat. So everything's all good. Now we go to the rally phase. It's the attack, then the rally. Action phase, then rally phase. So everybody readies. And then we go to the next round, which would normally be, yeah, okay, so we go to a new round now. So they actually get to go first now. Yeah, they actually get to go first now, starting the round, right? Yeah, starting a new round. Yeah, it makes sense. Oh man, you're supposed to be gaining 2 mythium on the rally phase. Draw 1 card. Ah man, yep, I might be doing some stuff wrong. Rally phase. Okay, in the rally phase, players action phase. Okay, in the action phase, players alternate turns, each taking 1 turn for each of the 4 spaces on their turn tracker. As each turn is completed, the turn marker is moved. After each player has taken 4 turns, proceed to the rally phase. Okay, so then the rally phase where everything readies. In the rally phase, players perform the following steps: resolve rally abilities. Each player readies their exhausted. And then each player gains 2 mythium. Okay, so might did a little something wrong, but good thing we caught it early. Hardly really matters. Hardly really matters. So we'll just give everybody 2 mythium. Rally abilities, ready cards. We did that. Gain 2 mythium each. Draw 1 card each. So you do actually draw cards. All right. Okay, but they can't hold cards. Draw a card for me. And then check for victory. Nope, not yet. You only do the victory at the rally phase. And then flip player order. So they actually take the first turn this time. which they just charged again, so I should have discarded that. Okay, recruit. Flip the top card. Put the top card of the opponent's deck into play. They got a 3-drop this time. Enters, gain 1 standing with any guild. They're not keeping up with that. That's their turn. Now it's my turn. Okay, so I should flip that card. Should be the charge next. Okay, now it's on me. I know they're about to charge. They want to get at my location. But I can just block with /Sentinel and then be okay. That's what I'll do. Alright, so I'll play Illicit Bazaar. And then that's a 0 cost, 1 standing, which I have. And then gain 2 Mythium and 1 standing with any guild. So that's what all it does. Put the 3 stage counters on it. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's my turn. Oh, so response, after you play a location, tap this guy, reveal the top card of the deck, and if it's a follower, draw it. Otherwise, put it on bottom of my deck. It's not a follower, it is a location. All right, it's my turn. Their turn. They're going to charge. Your opponent attacks with all of his ready followers. And then discard this card. Alright. They attack with everything. So that's their attack phase. I'll do my block phase. Of course, I'll block here. They take 2 damage. My 2/3 into their 1/3. I'll take 1 damage from their 1. And then my block ability is removed from combat and attacking follower other than the follower /Sentinel is blocking. I'll send that one back. That one still lives. So everybody lives. And those guys are tapped now. Okay. Goes to my turn. Okay, so nobody breaches. They don't get any power. And they can't even mess with my location. That's perfect. Alright. On my turn, I'll develop a location. I'll remove the first thing. Gain yeah, I'll just do that. All right, so I will develop location, remove this to gain 2 Mythium and 1 standing with any guild. Puts me up to 3 on this. Yep, and then it's their turn. They do Call to Arms, which is put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Put a +1/+1 counter on that follower. Call to Arms. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Put a +1/+1 counter on that follower. Okay, so we know it's a follower. Okay, like I wasn't doing it first. I was messing up. You only ready on the rally phase. That's the only time you're ready. All right, so this one comes into play with the +1/+1 counter. I proxied all of this stuff before the game came out, except for the solo mode. I don't think that was out yet. Alright, so put the top card of your opponent's deck into play, put a +1/+1 counter on that follower, then flip this card. Okay, yeah, so that's just a stronger recruit. They get a +1/+1. Alright, flip that card. My turn. I will... I'm kind of replete with Mythium, so don't really need all that right now. So what I could do is I'll put a pacify. You know what? I'll make it a little cheaper too. Play a card, paying 1 less for each standing you have across all guilds. So I'll pay 1 to play Proof of the Grotto. Put that back in the supply. Play 1 card, paying 1 less for each standing you have across all guilds. So my next card costs 3 less. Man, you know, might as well get this card out of my hand while I'm at it. So interrupt before you pay this card's cost. Oh, I can only play 1 card though. Yeah, let me just go ahead and do this. Well, I mean, an interrupt. What is an interrupt exactly? It means you can play an extra card. Okay, interrupt abilities can be triggered when the indicated effect is about to happen. So this one interrupts before you pay this card's cost, damage a location. Okay, so yeah, just do something first and then gain 5. But I'd rather pacify right now. Oh, if you have at least 3 standing with any one guild, put a +1/+1 counter on that, which they don't have any standing. All right, so I'll just put pacify on this guy. So 3. I have 3 standing, so it costs 3 less. So I'll play this one for free. Put a stationary counter on a follower. Followers with stationary can't attack. Okay, they got the wreath, so they're peaceful. They can't attack. All right, this is my turn. Their turn. They'll charge. Your opponent attacks with all of his ready followers, which that guy can't attack. So I'm all gravy, baby. All right, then discard. My turn. I got plenty Mythium, so I would attack, but then they'll just block. Surely they'll block. Surely they would block, I'm sure. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just draw a card. Yeah, draw 1 card. Yeah, draw 1 card. All right, so now we go to rally phase again. Flip this over. I get to go first. Yeah, whatever rally phase. I go first. All right, so rally abilities. Nobody has any. Ready cards. Everything readies. And then gain 2 Mythium, everybody. One, 2. 1, 2. Trade this out for some 3s. 3. And 3. Cool. Check for victory, no. Flip player order, already did that. So I take the first thing right now, starting with the 1. What will I do this round? Before you play this card's cost, reveal up to 2 location cards from your hand straight to the source. Cost 1 less for each card you revealed. Choose a follower or location. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a card of that type. Either draw that card or play it, paying 2 less. Alright, I guess I'll choose location. So I'll play this card. 2 drop. 1, 2. Take 1 back. Choose follower or location. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a card of that type. Which I'll take location. Not a 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 location. This is a location. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a card of that type. Either draw that card or play it without paying. Shuffle your deck. Either draw that card or play it, paying 2 less. I'll play it. Shuffle my deck. Alright, play it, paying 2 less. Pay the location. Play the location. It costs nothing since it's 2 less. Shuffle my deck. Did that. And then a response after you play a location. Exhaust. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a follower, draw it. Otherwise, put it on bottom of my deck. Alright, come on, follower. Son of a gun. Alright. Drew into like four followers in a row. Alright, man, my guy was really saving me. Alright, so I did my turn, their turn. Put the stage counters on this. Alright, villain turn. They will recruit. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Flip this card. Earth Apprentice. Enters, gain a standing. Enters if you control at least 2 other followers. Draw 1 card, but they don't have a hand, so that's perfect. Alright, my turn. And then next thing they'll do is they'll charge. Alright, my turn. Man, I can't get a freaking follower to save my life right now. Alright, I'll go ahead and do this while the doing's good. I'll develop a location, gain 1 power. Gain a power. Then, yeah, I mean, that's all I can do is 1 thing. Villain turn. Okay, yeah, they're finna wreck shop on me right now. And then your opponent attacks with all its ready followers. That guy can attack. That's lovely. So, I'll just block one of these 2/2s. They're swinging with everybody. Well, that one can't swing. They're swinging with everybody. I'll take this one out. I'll block that one, but on the block effect, remove a combatant. Remove from combat an attacking follower other than the follower slide signal is blocking. I'll remove that. I'll trade here. 2/2 into the 2/3. They trade. Put that in the supply. They both die. This one breaches, taking one of my power, and they'll take my freaking thing. So this is a double whammy. This kind of doesn't seem right. But the power's on one, so they'll take that, knock that one out. That was an easy power for me. That gets knocked out, and they're breaching, so they also get a power. All right, and all right, yeah, that was pretty bad. All right, my go. My turn. I'm in desperate need of a guy. Man, not much I can do. I can draw a card. Yeah, I can draw a card. Okay, got a follower. Nice. All right, and then they recruit. Play the top card of their deck. Got a 3-1. Definitely need to put out a blocker for that. My turn. Next time they'll... Oh, okay. Next time they'll mobilize something different. All right, so I will definitely play a card. All right, ETB. Players can attack for the remainder of this round. Nice. All right, so I've got the 2 standing with my guild. This costs 3. Play her. All right, so players can attack. So mobile. Well, I mean, I might not even want to do that. Mobilize. Your opponent puts a +1/+1 counter on the follower it controls with the least remaining health. Your opponent attacks with all of its ready. Yeah, definitely do that. All right, so they do their thing. Your opponent puts a +1/+1 counter on a follower it controls with the least remaining health. That one. No, that one actually. No, that one. Okay, how does it choose? Ready cards before exhausted cards. Okay, so actually it would be that one. Alright, your opponent puts a +1/+1 counter on a follower it controls with the least remaining health. Your opponent attacks with all of its ready followers. But, good thing for me, they can't attack. Discard this card. Because players can attack for the remainder of this round. Nice. Nicely done. Alright, then that's the end of the round. So then we go to the rally phase. Rally abilities. We have none. Ready cards. Gain 2 Mythium each. 4. 7. Draw 1 card. They don't draw cards, I do. Check for victory. I got 2, they have 2. Flip player order. I was first, now they're going to be first. Alright, they're really... I need a board wipe is what I need. Alright, so they're going to recruit. Play the top card of their deck. Gallant Soldier. My turn. Flip this card. Better play my location. The Submerged Brilliance 3 drop, which I can't really afford much. I can't really afford that. But Put those stage counters on it. Looks like I'm about to lose to the stupid automaton. So that means who's really the stupid one? Alright, okay, so play this location. I'm looking for a unit right now. I got it. So after you play a location, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a follower, draw it. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck. Alright, I got 3 standing. Alright, so I drew it. Alright, and then they're about to do me type dirty. Alright, they charge. Your opponent attacks with all of his ready followers. Man, it's gonna kill me. Alright, man, this is only a 1-1 too. She was... Ugh, I should have played her this turn instead. Yeah, that was not strategic how I did that. That one can't attack, that's good. I'm guessing I'll block this one. Trade there. They breach 4 times, which is 4 power. And then I think on top of that, they also take off 4 of my things, which is crazy. Like they take off your they break down your building and they get the power. But yeah, but in any case, they win. No. They've only got 3 that can attack. They do get 3 power, which all they need is 1. There's no way I'm coming back at this point. Yeah, so they're all tapped except for that one. And then I think so let's see. Okay, at the beginning of your outcome phase, each follower that is still attacking breaches the defending player's forces. Breaches the defending player's forces. Note that followers stop attacking when they're blocked. If at least 1 follower breaches, the attack is successful and the attacking player follows these steps. Gain 1 power for each breaching follower. You may resolve breach abilities on those followers. You may damage a location controlled by the defending player. This removes... If at least 1 follower breaches, the attack is successful and the attacking player follows these steps. Gain 1 power for each breaching. And then you may damage a location controlled by the defending player. This removes 1 of his stages. So you get to do both. You really want to just make sure that you can take full advantage of your locations. You may damage a location controlled by the defending player. Gain 1 power for each breaching follower. You may resolve breach abilities. You may damage a location. Okay, it only gets 1, the highest one. It doesn't do it for each, not for each. Okay, yeah, designer of the game, clarify it for me. Not for each breacher. For each breacher. 1 location damage total. Yeah. For each. You may breach. You may damage the location controlled by the defending player. This removes 1 of his stages. But not for each breacher. If the attack was not... Okay, that's way more fair. Alright. Yeah, so they removed the highest one, which was a great one. That one. But actually, that's kind of cool because I can gain power. Alright, there's no way I can come back, but I'll try though. Alright, my turn. I will play her. I can't even afford her. Yeah, I kind of screwed myself. I might have should have played this. But, I guess I'll gain a Mythium. Their turn. They recruit. Oh yeah, that's gonna kill me there. My turn. I'll play her, need to block. Play a card, 2 Mythium. Stationary response. The first time each round you gain power, gain 2 Mythium. Alright, got the standing, got the 2. I should have flipped that. Their turn. Your opponent attacks with all its ready followers. That one can't attack. She can. She enters, gain 1 Mythium for each standing you have across all guilds. Oh yeah, they don't gain Mythium. What am I doing? Gain 1 Mythium for each standing you have across all guilds. They don't gain Mythium. But she does attack. I do block. I'll trade. Well, I'll block her. Take 1 damage. My turn. The first time each round you gain power, gain 2 Mythium. That's perfect. Alright, so I will develop a location, gain 1 power, which brings me to 3. And 1 standing with any guild, got 4. And then the first time each round you gain power, gain 2 Mythium. I sorely need that. And then new round. I would go first this round, which I desperately need as well. Okay, so it's 3 to 5. They're gonna win, but at least I'm keeping up the fight. Rally phase, rally abilities, nothing. Ready cards. Gain 2 Mythium. Only me, because only I can hold Mythium. The robot can't hold Mythium. Draw 1 card. They don't draw a card, but I do, which I sorely need. That same lowly bard. Check for victory. Nope, not yet. And then flip player order, which I've already done. I should have discarded this card, I think. Right? I think so. I think so. Alright, my turn. Yeah. Okay, lowly bard. She's kind of like an ETB dork. So I will. Yeah. Alright, so I'll enter her to be able to block stuff. I have 4 standing, I think now. Yeah. Enters, gain 1 for each standing you have across all guilds, which is 4. Oh, I gotta pay 2 for it though, which I had enough. Their turn. Their turn. Ready card. Their turn. They will recruit. They'll recruit. Flip this card. My turn. Gain 3. Gain blah. Doesn't count. My turn. Still down. My turn. Rally abilities. Whatever. My turn. Okay, so I can. I think they're gonna breach and kill me. But while I can, I guess I will gain 1 power, develop. Close. I think I almost got there, but gain 1. And then the first time each round you gain 1 power, gain 2 Mythium. 1, 2. Their turn. Okay. If any of your opponent's followers has a stationary counter, remove a stationary counter from one of your opponent's followers. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, otherwise your opponent attacks with all of his ready followers. Okay, good. They don't get to attack. Perfect. All right. Okay, this goes away too. Recruit. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. No. My turn. Damage a location you control. Man, I better draw a card. Got a location. Their turn. They're going to recruit. My turn. I got to play this location. They're going to ramsack me right here. It costs 3. Put the 2 counters on it. I get to do my Marco Polo thing. It is a follower, so I'll draw it. I didn't flip it. They attack with everything. I block here. And here. They do. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they kill me. Alright, good game though. Good game. Alright, well now next game will be way smoother. I might even play it tonight. Alright, that only took, what, 2 hours? But next game should be nothing more than 45 minutes. Alright, anyway, follow your games, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more WorldBreakers solo content.